Hello everyone, and welcome to the Red Door Yoga Mini Sutra series online. I'm Kavita from Red Door Yoga. Today I wanted to talk to you about controlling the flow. Now that might sound like a bit of an odd topic for the reason that most of the time you'll hear, to go with the flow versus trying to control things. But what I'm really talking about here is becoming aware of the physics of energy flow, the physics of flow in the universe, and the work that you need to put in when you want to direct that flow a bit. So this goes back to high school science class. If you will recall from high school science, you hopefully learned that things tend to move from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. Okay, that's how osmosis occurs. That's how diffusion occurs, right? That's how gas exchange occurs between your lungs and your red blood cells, right? That when your red blood cells come to the lungs, they have a high concentration of carbon dioxide in them and a low concentration of oxygen, whereas the lungs have a high concentration of oxygen and a low concentration of carbon dioxide. As a result of those two things coming together, just separated by a very thin membrane, the lungs with their high concentration of oxygen willingly allows oxygen to move through the membrane into the red blood cell. And the red blood cell with a high concentration of carbon dioxide willingly allows that carbon dioxide to move through that membrane into the lungs. And that's how we exchange the gas and the body continues to function. All right? So this is just natural and normal, and it's what occurs all through the universe. Things move from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. Now, we can get things to move from an area of low concentration to an area of high concentration. But if we're going to move things from an area of low to high, that requires a pump. That requires effort. Okay, from the system, from you, from whatever it is that is engaged in this transmission, engaged in this diffusion. Things do not naturally move from an area of low concentration to an area of high concentration. Now, why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because there's an example of this that really came to the fore recently. One of my students who's a mentee, she was actually in meditation class and she was doing the homework that I'd given them. And she was giving an example of how this had occurred. And what was happening was she has a friend, and her friend has a certain amount of chaotic energy, let's call it that. The student is a relatively sattvic person. She has cultivated a certain amount of groundedness, a certain amount of calmness in her. So she's an area of high concentration of calmness and low concentration of chaotic energy. But her friend is an area of high concentration of chaotic energy and low concentration of calmness. When they come together, my student's intention, my mentee's intention, is to allow her calmness to move into her friend and therefore to transfer some of that calmness into her friend. And that will naturally want to occur because high concentration of calmness will naturally want to move into the low concentration of calmness. The issue is that it also wants to go the other way. The high concentration of chaotic energy will want to move into the low concentration of chaotic energy until things balance off, as it were, between the two. But my student does not wish to take on the chaotic energy. And that is where she needs to utilize a pump. She needs to put in some effort. Her calm energy will naturally go that way. This is desirable to her. She needs to, however, put in a bit of energy to maintain a barrier at the membrane, at the contact, in order to not allow the chaotic energy to move into her. There is not going to be a way to do this without putting in effort. Sometimes we can tell ourselves that, we will become so grounded that we will be able to maintain that groundedness with complete effortlessness when we are engaging with the world around us. But it is an act of physics that if the world around us has a different energy, is concentrated in a different energy, it will want to move into us. So if we are a low concentration of that type of energy, in order to maintain that groundedness, in order to maintain that barrier, a little bit or a lot of energy is going to have to go into holding the line, holding the membrane, as it were. So I bring that up because sometimes it's important to adjust your expectations of what it's going to be like as you progress along your path. You still require effort in the face of energies that you don't wish to let into your system. You don't wish to take over your system. And in that way, the energy that you want to see in the world will diffuse outward without you taking on the energies of the world that you don't want to let into your system. But it's going to require some effort. All right? In terms of the effort, there are many tools along the way. And the tools that I've been teaching you guys, the tools that I will teach you in my yoga class, in the mentorship that I run, okay? And these tools I will give away because I'm happy for you to use them, okay? But today's talk really is about the fact that you will need to put in some effort in order to maintain your energy if you are in the face of energies that are concentrated in a different way. I hope that was helpful, everyone. Please do like the video and share it with others, and that way we're able to spread yoga philosophy further and help others across the globe. If you have thoughts or questions, or if there are topics that you would like us to talk about more, please do let me know in the comment section. I am always reading the comment section. I'm taking notes so that I can serve you better based on what you are letting me know about. Okay? Thank you, everyone. And I will look forward to seeing you again online very, very soon. Namaste.